can see.
Get arrested on illegal weapons charges. Remember, they have these freaking...
Yeah, they always have these MAC 10s and AR 15s and shit. It's like, man, were you going to shoot the kids, the fucking cult members, or the pigs? Those are the three targets in this fucking scenario. Who else are you going to hit? The community? You going to shoot the people walking down your sidewalk? Who are you going to shoot in this scenario? They're all fellow Americans. They're all your community. They're all your people. Even the cops are your people. You might think that Satan sent the cops, but nope. It's just another muggle just like you. He's not special, any more special than you. He's got a family just like you. He's shown up because he's another worker ant just like you. He's not special. And he's there to do his fucking job, which is preventing you from harming kids. Is he really your enemy? He's your enemy, but he's not anyone else's enemy. He represents a threat to you, but he's there to do good for the community when he stops you. So what's the best premise here? You kill that pig? Come on, man. You can see the self-inflicted gunshot wound. It is your future, and I mean that too. And I'm surprised that it didn't happen to L. Ron Hubbard. I swear to God, they were so close to busting him right before he died that he would have needed to pass. How did L. Ron die? Right? How did L. Ron Hubbard die? L. Ron. Damn it, L. Ron. He died of a stroke. That seems about right. He was probably so stressed out about his previous child molestations on the high seas and how they all know about it that he probably stroked out due to the fucking stress it causes him. Because one of the things that you understand if you read Battlefield Earth is that Sultan Griss is the most stressed out tweaker that's ever existed. He double crosses everybody that he meets, and he bribes and cajoles and tricks and murders anybody who doesn't do what he says. And that's exactly how Trump operates, and that's exactly how all these piece of shit rich people operate. It's fucking stupid. They just operate completely with complete impunity, and they have their own private security forces, and they have their own private islands, and they have their own private jets, and what happens in those places are entirely up to their fucking discretion. And and of course he died of a stroke because he knew the whole fucking world knew who he was. The whole world knew who he was. He couldn't hide it anymore. He probably was just sitting up there in that California ranch being like, well, they're going to come get me if they're going to come get me. In the meantime, I've got emphysema because I'm 74 and I'm stressed out or whatever. Yeah. And eventually... Oh, yeah. And by the way, we all know that he was a fucking druggie. He talked constantly about drugs. All of them do. All that shit they talk about being a prophet, you know what that actually is? It's LSD. They all do LSD, including L. Ron Hubbard. They all fucked with LSD. All these shitheads. They all used LSD improperly to fucking brainwash MK Ultra, their cults. All of them did it. Jim Jones, fucking stupid ass fucking, I think, as I recall, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I heard an underground story about how fucking David Koresh had actually given acid to all the kids, as I recall. I don't know if that's true, but that's the rumor I heard on the fucking streets, that Koresh had given the entire goddamn compound acid in the fucking, in the raid. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard. I mean, that's what I heard. That was when I was like 12 years old, but I heard a crazy rumor when I was like 12 years old, before I even knew what acid was, that David Koresh was giving LSD to the entire compound. Let's go look at that weird rumor. I mean, I swear to God, I heard that when I was a kid. Was David Koresh giving LSD to the entire compound? Because that's what I heard. Is it true? No. No, there was no evidence of it, no. But I believe he was, there was a drug lab in there. There was a meth lab in there. There was an LSD lab in there. The whole fucking compound was high on meth and fucking acid and shit like this. Shit that you can produce from poppies and, fucking Sudafed and fucking, and fucking morning glory seeds, And it's weird, and and they had all this child porn and stuff and sexual allegations, machine guns and grenades, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing with all this meth, acid, children, and submachine guns? What the fuck are you doing? Are you planning to throw some kind of child sex murder riot? What the fuck are you doing? And that's exactly what they do too. That's what they do in the end. Or the pigs burn them all, one or the other, or the pigs kill them all, like Ruby Ridge. Like, as I recall, I believe a couple of the family members lived through Ruby Ridge, but most everybody at Ruby Ridge died, if I recall. Did everybody at Ruby Ridge die? So, like, not only is the cult crazy, the cult of personality that shows up to bust the cult is also crazy. So when you mix the two, you get David Koresh and the fucking Waco compound fiasco. And that's not good either. That's, or the Bhagwan against the Oregon governor or whatever, or Jim Jones versus the California senator. It's weird. It was just fucking crazy. These people are so crazy. And so it's like, where's the positive here? There isn't. This should be against the law. I guess I finally got to the question I wanted to ask. Why is it legal for cults to exist? I think it really is pretty fairly legal for them to exist. If they have an income tax bracket as a church, they can just sit there with complete impunity from the government pretty much in almost everything except criminal allegation. That's it. So, like, otherwise they have no tax responsibility. They have they don't have to report to the government what they're doing. They don't have to tell the government anything. It's like a very powerful thing. It's why L. Ron Hubbard was completely drawn to it immediately. He was like, why would I ever be a politician if I can just, become a church? He saw what LaVey was doing with the Satanist church and all that, and he was like, oh my god, I could just make a church and they don't charge me taxes, and I can just keep recruiting people and charging them tithes, and nobody ever asked me for tax money or anything like that. Yeah, it turns out that Scientology, it's produced like $3 trillion or something like that, and he stole every last cent of it. It's all in his account. None of them have any money. If they do, they tithe it to the church. None of those people, and it's not funny. It's funny because it's so dumb. And he's dead, so they're tithing to somebody who isn't even alive. It's like, remember me. At that point, he's basically Tutankhamun, and he's dragged them into his fucking grave with him because they're still tithing to him after he's dead. That's how fucking stupid they are. And yeah, I am shaming the victim because there is some point where you gotta make better decisions as human beings than that. Now, those children that are born there, they don't have an option, and I have nothing but sympathy to them. I'm talking about the parents who started back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They had a choice. They didn't make the right choice. The kids who were born there, they deserve nothing but sympathy.
Unserialized,
especially the gay teens or otherwise. It wasn't just the gay teens. All the kids that the FLDS kicked out on the motherfucking Salt Lake City streets so the heroin dealers could sell them fucking heroin and crack on the fucking streets and shit. Oh, there's all these kids on the streets and they all have daddy's money.
They're home.
They're all like these white kids who hate their parents who want to get high. So this drug scene exploded in fucking downtown fucking Salt Lake City, where it used to just be, Jimbo from fucking Salt Lake City punks like doing acid in the park across the street from the fucking Capitol building and shit. Now it's like there's like goddamn 1,500 gay homeless teens on the fucking streets of Salt Lake City, waiting for the Mormon church to re-embrace them, which isn't going to happen because Warren Jeffs is either dead or in jail. I forget. What happened to Warren Jeffs? Did he die of old age now? No, he's serving life in Texas prison, which is just fucking good. That's good. I mean, that's crazy. It's good. It's real good. And so, yeah, but there's like, and that sucks. That's just an example of the damage these people can do. Where's the positive? The community isn't a positive. It's not really a family. It's a nuclear family that doesn't have a bloodline connection to you. They don't really truly care about you in the end. They'll feed you acid and methamphetamine. They'll corrupt and or do worse things to your kids. They're not your fucking friends. Where's the positive here? I keep looking for something positive for even the cult leader. Maybe it's positive for the cult leader to go on their crazy fantasy of being a prophet for about 20 years and, roll away in a Rolls Royce like the Bhagwan and stuff like that. I suppose that's fun, right? So the prophet probably doesn't mind it or whatever. The false prophet doesn't mind it. But I do mind that. It's crazy. It's like you roll around in a Rolls Royce, and that's why you did this. That's why you do this stuff. So you have a ship that you can sail around the Atlantic Ocean, so you can be a pederast. That's why you do this stupid shit. Couldn't it be something good?
The movement is banned because it's clearly sympathetic.
It's the same thing with internet trolls. They all want to make death threats against somebody that they don't like or whatever, or swat people and shit like this. Couldn't you target a terrorist or some kind of world power that's threatening you or something? Or maybe, like, I don't know. Let's see. Who's a bad actor right now? Who's a truly bad actor that both sides can actually hate? Go target... roadside speed ticket lasers. I know, because I've set several of those on fire myself. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You can see in my fucking eyes. You haven't lived till you've tossed a lot of gasoline on a fucking roadside laser speed checker. You know what I'm talking about? Those piece of shit big white metal boxes with the big 25 sign or 35 sign that says you've got to drive 35, and then it clicks a camera at you if you speed past it. You hear the click 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 in the fucking white, like, you know, the white thing that they sit on the side of the road. I've burned 3 of those in Denver, Colorado. Not recently, many years ago. But I definitely don't like those. That is a much better target than Skycatlive. You could swat Skycatlive or troll Skycatlive or build YouTube, fake publicist YouTube channels for Skycatlive. Or you could go target roadside radars that give poor people speeding tickets that cost $300. You could target... who's the current douchebag in North Korea? You could go fuck with the North Korea guy. Send him some pizzas in North Korea. Like, troll him by sending him pizzas in North Korea, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm kidding. Whoever controls North Korea, I just don't care to know. Who's in charge of North Korea right now? I can't remember. I think it's a good thing that I can't remember. It means they might not have much power much longer. Kim Jong-un, I'm sorry, yeah. Couldn't remember, I'm sorry. There's so many different names and they all sound the same. Kim Jong-un, right? So you could go fuck with the supreme leader. Instead, you swat your fellow gamer. Like trolls are the worst pieces of shit on the fucking planet, basically, because they could easily use their powers for good, and it would be funny, and they could get sex and stuff that they wouldn't normally have, like sex and money, if they just actually targeted bad actors. But no, they're always targeting Taylor Swift and scaring her, or like Amaranth, or swatting me, or like, or making threats against some family member or something like this. Couldn't you just actually target a bad person, like a real bad person, like out in the world who's been convicted of rape or something like that? I've never been convicted of anything nasty. The worst thing I've ever been convicted of was possession of ecstasy. That's the worst thing I've ever been convicted of. Whatever. Yeah. So Kim Jong-un, so you swat Skycatlive, but honestly, you could go swat Kim Jong-un. It would be a lot better for everybody except Kim Jong-un, Go swat Kim Jong-un. Instead, you're like some weird, crazy dog off its fucking leash, and you just want to strike it at your own. You only strike at your own. But I'm a fellow gamer, fellow online enjoyer, terminally online person who represents no threat to you of any way or form. I'm not going to run for office and take your country from you or anything like that. I'm past the age of being able to do that. I can't join that now or whatever. I don't represent any real threat to anybody on the internet whatsoever. So take that trolly bullshit ass energy somewhere the fuck else and target somebody who actually needs to be fucking fired at. It's like, I feel like I've been shot at and missed, shit at and hit, kind of thing, because it's like fucking like, but I'm not really your enemy. If you were to say swat Kim Jong-un, I might actually give you props on my stream, you know, shit like that. Like, you know, but instead you see weird shitheads targeting their fellow human beings, their fellow Americans and shit like this, their fellow planet Earthians, fellow Terrans. And I just don't really understand that. There's other enemies out there in the world that represent an actual threat to you that aren't your enemy, that are your enemy, unlike me. You know? What am I going to do? Threaten my wiener? I'm not some threat to anybody. So, like, why me? Go pick somebody who's actually evil. Like, what?
Used to have an active Facebook page, but apparently
Pick this douchebag. He's in jail. Send him pizzas in jail. Send him cocaine in jail so they give him 6 more years or whatever. Do something funny there. Like get this douchebag. This douchebag actually deserves to be swatted. I've never done anything to be deserved to be swatted. Not ever. Not like that. Not for my family to be put at risk. I've never done anything remotely as bad as to deserve something like that. This douchebag has. Go target him. Send him pizza in prison, or send him like a cocaine balloon or something with like some cocaine residue, and he catches like another 10 years on his charge or whatever. That would be a lot funnier. Send him some jail mail and lace some cocaine in the piece of paper that you send him and get him 10 more years in jail. That would be a lot funnier than fucking with Skycatlive, a fat old lazy streamer with 2 viewership. Like, I don't really understand that. It's like, pick your targets correctly, idiot. You're like a baby rattlesnake that just doesn't understand who to bite. You know?
their booking information, and let me tell you. So Daryl,
like, there's tons of bad actors out there. You seem to look for innocent targets. No judge in the land will ever have sympathy for you if you're searching for innocent targets. But if you hit non-innocent targets, the judge might not even convict you. That's another reason. You're facing fucking a long time right now for fucking federal fucking swatting and shit like this. That's a federal beef, you know, that's a big one. But you could have actually just done something a lot more legal to hurt somebody, a lot more evil. That would have been a lot more funny if you just use your brain or something like that. But no, it's gotta go hassle the fat, old, lazy, over the hill 2 viewership streamer. And it's like, can't you understand that there's actual bad people out there? Yeah.
music
Lol cow honeypots are all well and good, sure. We all like to laugh at the idiots, sure. But there's better targets. There's a wealth, a commonwealth of targets out there, of shitheads who make the planet Earth a way worse place to be. Somewhere on the planet, somewhere right now, is the douchebag who wrote the training manual for TSA. You know, the flight agency security, the guy who hassles you at the fucking airport for 2.5 hours and makes you take your shoes off, right? Somewhere in this country, I doubt he's dead, I doubt he's probably still alive, somewhere in this country is the douchebag who wrote the training manual for the TSA. Go bug him. Go smash open his house. Leave me alone. I don't represent any threat to you. I've never harmed anybody. That's God's honest toasted toast truth. I've never harmed fucking anybody, and I'm not some threat to some rando troll or 7 rando trolls. I don't give a fuck what it is either. I'm not your enemy, son. There are so many bad people out there fucking over your family, your friends, right the fuck now, and it's not me, babe.
Martin, aka Pastor Music, is charged with murder, weapons, and then it says explosives, which is crazy, possession of a machine gun, and his bail was $100,000, and it says that he was released Friday, December 12th,
and they'll never see him again.
First search his name, it says that, you know, he's not in custody. So it seems
like good, this guy's not in custody. He killed 2 people.
He posted bail and he's not in custody.
Well, his cult killed 2 people. This might be a Manson family thing. If he didn't pull the trigger, they won't they'll prosecute him because of Charles Manson. There's new laws now in California. So yeah, they'll prosecute him. But up until the Sharon Tate murders, they wouldn't prosecute if you got somebody else to do your crime. They'll prosecute the person who did the crime, you know?
The prophetess.
Ignorance is not an excuse to break the law.
On the other hand, she's in jail.
It's something judges used to say a lot to me. I'd be like, I didn't know that was a thing, and they'd be like, ignorance is not an excuse.
no bail. It says here that
It
she's
is, though. If you don't know something's against the law, then it is sort of, though.
ineligible for bail.
You didn't know that it existed, and that's not, it's a faulty argument.
And she has a court date scheduled for December 15th, 2025, and her charge.
I can't believe you put this shithead back out on the fucking streets, but then we don't have him for anything. He's a suspect in 2 murders. That sounds like a crack, like that, obviously, like, honestly, there are crack murders in Denver on the daily that are higher, like, that are more impactful than that. This guy killed 2 people, right, and built a cult church. What else did he do, though? Did we convict him for raping children? I don't think so. What are the charges?
Charges are murder as well.
Yeah, so they really think he murders somebody. Yeah, but it's like 1 or 2 murders. Yeah, that's life. That'll fuck him and get him off the streets, thank God. But also, like, 2 murders in the large scheme of like a cult thing, I'm not so sure that's very much actual justice.
And possession of a machine gun.
This guy sounds like some kind of crazy pederast who was planning sedition against the government with machine guns. And, he killed 2 people and completely enslaved like another 50 or something like that. And I'm sure he was sleeping with the parishioners. I guarantee it. So, like, what happens here?
Yes, the explosive.
You let him out on bail. Remember, he was bilking 50 people for their tithes for, like, I don't know. How long did this last? Like 5 years or something? So if they're all paying him like $30,000 a month like that one tool was, fucking $500,000 for bail isn't that bad. That's not that bad for a cult leader.
Explosives were not hers. Rudy Moreno, which, by the way, he's one of the missing guys who I'm going to tell you about's brother.
Damn it.
Okay, he was arrested for 2nd-degree murder. And, which is crazy, possession of a machine gun.
Soon.
Damn, I ruined it. And also
murder, 2nd degree, felon possessing of a firearm, prohibited owning a prohibited firearm and all that, a ghost gun, and an unknown code possession / machine.
Possess.
And so they were like manufacturing VINs for like ghost guns, maybe. They were like producing fake legal weapons.
Firearm and ammo.
Unknown code. Oh no, unknown code. We don't know what that is.
That, and then he was also released, it says here, on December 12th. And it also said that he was no longer in custody and he didn't have a bail amount. It was just 000. So I'm not sure if they were both released or if they just got moved somewhere and they're awaiting a court date, but I don't see a court date. The other 3 that were arrested were members of the church. One was a 44-year-old woman. The other 2 were both 58-year-old men, and their charges were all weapons-related charges. See you on the flippity flip.
Okay, I'm going to... Excuse me, my voice cracked. I'm going to go to bed. And I love you guys. I'm going to stop this recording now with a reminder that you've been watching Skycatlive, and I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. It's 1:55 in the morning on a Sunday night, and it's time to stop. Come click on the cat space to donate. Give me a nice Twitch or YouTube like, sub, or follow. I'm sorry I didn't play too many video games today. This is because I drove to Seattle and back, which took 7 hours, and then I stapled trim into a fucking kitchen roof. And it was just a real life day, and so you guys were lucky to get what you got. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. I have a full day tomorrow. Full gaming day tomorrow, and I'll play a lot more games when I'm fresh and I'm not exhausted and didn't get up and get 2 hours of sleep and stuff. And we'll have a much more productive day. I love you guys. Thank you. Today sucked. It wasn't very productive, but tomorrow will be. And I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you then. Bye. So this stream will end with a reminder that I have thousands of videos on my channel. Come check me out. It's right here. I'm going to upload right the fuck now. I love you guys. Bye.